everybody, this is our fourth class from Complete Blender course. Today's video is about modifiers. So what are modifiers? Modifiers act as non-destructive filters for your 3D objects. They allow you to manipulate an object's appearance without altering its underlying geometry. This flexibility empowers you to experiment with different effects and revert to previous state with ease. Let's start with array modifier. So what exactly is the array modifier? Well, simply put, it's a tool that allows you to create multiple copies of an object in a specified pattern. This can be incredibly useful for creating things like fences, staircases, or any other regularly repeating structures. To add the array modifier, first select the object you want to duplicate. Let's add a cube from the Add menu. Then navigate to the Modifier Properties tab and click on Add Modifier. Choose Array from the list. You can control the number of duplicates by adjusting the count parameter. You'll notice that by default, the array creates duplicate along the x-axis. You can adjust this by changing the value in the offset section of the modifier panel. For example, let's change the value of factor x to 0 and y to 1. Additionally, you can modify the distance between duplicates by changing the value in relative offset section. For example, let's change this using mouse. As you see, it updates accordingly. After you're done, apply from drop-down menu and that's it. And don't forget, you can combine the array modifier with other modifiers to achieve even more complex results. Alright. Now let's move on to the Bevel Modifier. The Bevel Modifier lets you add clean, crisp edges and details to your objects, all while maintaining a non-destructive workflow. This means you can tweak and adjust your bevels without permanently changing your base mesh until you apply it from its drop-down menu in Object mode. First, select the object you want to apply the bevel to. Perhaps let's select this cube again. Then repeat the process. Navigate to the Modifier Properties tab and click on Add Modifier. Search bevel from the list. Now you'll see the bevel modifier options. Let's break them down. Vertices tab. Bevels only the area near the selected vertices. Edges remain unchanged. Edges tab. It bevels the edges, creating intersections at vertices. Amount. This sets the overall size of the bevel. Segments. This controls the number of edge loops created around the bevel. Higher segments create smoother curves. Limit method. Here you define which edges can beveled. None means bevel all edges. If you select angle, bevel edges with a sharp angle. Gray for preserving smooth surfaces. Making adjustments. Now come the fun part. Playing with the settings. Try adjusting the segments, limit method and amount to see how they affect the bevel. Remember, you can always go back and tweak these values without affecting your base mesh. Once you are done, while the modifier is great for non-destructive editing, sometimes you might want to solidify the bevel into your mesh. To do this, simply click Apply at the top of the modifier drop-down menu. Remember, you can edit any modifier anytime before you apply it, and you can apply modifier in object mode only. Now let me demonstrate you Boolean Modifier, a powerful tool for creating complex shapes by combining objects. Let's add a cube and a sphere from Add menu using Shift A key. And here I'm going to scale the sphere a little bit so you can see it. We have two basic objects, a cube and a sphere. The Boolean modifier allows us to perform various operations on these objects, resulting in new and interesting shapes. Let's begin by selecting the object we want to modify. In this case, we'll click on the cube. Now in the Properties panel, search Boolean Modifier from the menu. This adds the Boolean modifier to our cube. Here, in the Modifier Properties, we define how the cube interacts with another object. Under the Object section, click the Embodies law in Next to Object. In the list, select the sphere or use eyedropper tool to select object from the viewport. The sphere will act as the appearance. The object that modifies our cube. We have several options here. Union combines the volume of both objects, creating a new mesh where they overlap. Difference removes the volume of appearance sphere from the target cube, leaving a hole where the sphere intersected. Intersect keeps only the volume where the objects overlap, creating a new shape from the intersection. To see the results, let me hide sphere. For this example, let's choose difference. This will carve the sphere shape out of the cube. As you can see in the viewport, the Boolean modifier is applied in real time. The cube now has a spherical cavity where the sphere intersected its volume. We can explore other operations like union or intersect to create different effects. Play around with these options to see how they modify your objects. Once you are happy with the results, click the Apply button at the top in the drop-down menu. This permanently applies the Boolean operation to the target object, creating a new mesh. Now the Subdivision Surface Modifier. This modifier works its magic by adding smoothness and details to your existing mesh. Imagine transforming a blocky cube into a perfectly curved sphere. That's the power of subdivision. Here's our rough table with sharp edges. It's great for building basic shapes, but it lacks smooth polished look. To achieve that, let's add the Subdivision Surface Modifier. Our modifier is in place. See the change? But it's not quite smooth table. That's because the modifier has a few tricks up its sleeve. Look at the modifier properties. You'll see setting called levels. This controls the amount of subdivision applied. By default, it's set to 1, which creates minimal smoothing. Let's crank a level up. Table's edges become noticeably smoother. Keep in mind, higher levels result in more detailed mesh, but also increase render times and file size. Also remember that sometimes it makes your model worse. I'll break it down in just next video. Now, after you're done, apply from drop-down menu and cool. That's it for today. In the next video, we'll model a 3D chair and a table within Blender. So stay tuned and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.